Good afternoon, and you are welcome to today's online class. In today's class, we are going to look at problem identification and idea development. Precisely, we are looking at the design process. And at the end of this lesson, you should be able to define the design process. And then you should be able to identify a problem from a situation. The design process. What is the design process? The design process refers to the set of stages of activities that a designer goes through from the situation through to the making of the solution and finally testing the finished design. For example, the design process can be said to be the set of activities that a carpenter goes through in making a table or a chair. So simply, all the activities that one undergoes in designing an artifact can be referred to as the design process. Now, there are various stages in the design process. In designing an artifact, the designer first have to identify the problem that artifact is going to solve. Now, how does one identify the problem? The problem can be identified from what we call the situation. So simply, the situation leads to the problem. Then the individual have to do what we call a brief statement. After the brief statement, the designer have to do an analysis. Then he have to investigate the problem or do a research. After the research, he have to do what we call the specification. Then he need to find the possible solutions to the problem. After finding the possible solutions, he have to develop the chosen possible solutions. Then he needs to choose the final solution out of the possible solutions. Then he needs to do what we call the working drawing of the final solution. The working drawing is what he is going to use to design the artifact. After doing the working drawing, then he needs to make the artifact or construct the artifact. Then finally, he needs to test and evaluate if the artifact will serve its intended purpose. Now, the problem. What is a problem? Problems in the design process have to do with our basic requirements. Requirements are what the artifact needs to solve. How does the artifact fit for use? Examples of these problems may be shelter, having things to sit on. For example, some of us in our kitchens, we may not have what we call a kitchen stool to sit on whenever we are cooking. It's a problem in the kitchen which needs to be solved. There are various problems that exist in our various homes. Now, how do you define a problem? In defining a problem, you need to ask yourself the following sets of questions. First of all, you need to look at what is the problem. Then you ask yourself, why is the problem? The why means what is causing the problem. Then what are the constraints? then what are the benefits to be derived when the solution is realized? Now, you heard me talking about the situation from our second slide. The situation is a statement that describes the environment within which a problem needs to be solved. So basically, before a problem needs to be identified, the designer have to look into the situation in which the problem exists. This is where we are going to end today's lesson. But before I go, I'm going to leave you with this assignment. And I expect you to do this and submit it latest by tomorrow, 4 o'clock p.m. The question is, a painter always stands on park blocks before painting a wall. That makes him fall down at times. Explain the stages you go through to design an artifact to solve this problem. Until then, have a good afternoon. Bye bye.